Hello, welcome to the session of lab program series. Today I'll be talking about a program of sine series, and this sine series equation is taken from a Taylor series. Today we will be seeing what is the Taylor series, and the output is compared with the built-in function that is available in the math library file. Okay, so the sine series, which we call it as Taylor series, is an equation which will be having n number of terms, and each term will be added to the previous terms to obtain the value of the sine series. So the sine series equation would be x minus x cube. X cube is nothing but x to the power of 3 divided by 3 factorial. Alternative terms will be evaluated with the plus and minus. So since the previous term was minus and the next term would be odd terms, so we are considering odd terms here. X to the power of 1 divided by 1 factorial would be the first term. The second term would be minus x to the power of 3 by 3 factorial, and the next term would be plus x to the power of 5. It is not x5, it is x to the power of 5 divided by 5 factorial. Plus, now since the previous term was a plus, and we will be evaluating with the next term with minus x to the power of 7 divided by 7 factorial, and it goes on till n number of terms, and these n number of terms are given by the user as an input. So now before we move on to the sine series evaluation with the C program, so basically this x value is the input that is being taken by the user. So x is actually in terms of radians. So the input that is taken by the user should be in the degree. Say for example, I want to know what is sine 60 degree, what is sine 90 degree, what is sine 45 degree. So the input will be in terms of degrees, and after taking the input of degree, I said, so we are going to perform this evaluation of series of sum of terms till nth term. So again, how many terms that we are going should be taken as a second input. So the degree and n would be the two inputs that we are going to take. So next is, so in order to evaluate through this equation, we need to convert the degree into radians. So how do you convert the degree into radians? You have a formula. So radians is equal to degree into pi by 180, right? So based on this formula, I think all of you remember that how to convert degree into radians. So we have the formula of, so degree is equal to, radians is equal to degree into pi by 180. The pi value will be 3.14. You can directly add or give the value as 3.14 and divide it by 180. So after considering this, we need to find the sum of the terms in the loop. So the loop may be while loop or do while loop or for loop, and depends upon the developer on what language or what loop structure construct that he is going to use. So here in this program I am using the for loop. So because we have n number of terms, and the terms should be evaluated and added to the previous term. So consider the first term as x, because we have the first term as x. After converting the degree to radians, so the radians will be evaluated with the value x, that is nothing but the radians. Here I am treating it as x. Consider this first term as x. So now this first term, with the first term I am not going to do anything. So what is that I will say is, since the first term is x, I will consider some value as x. So to make my for loop easier, I am using the first term as x, and instead of initializing the sum value to 0, because you need to add all these terms, I will initialize the sum value with the first term, that is nothing but term is equal to x. Okay. So now let's see how we are going to get the next part of the term. So what is your term? The term value will be x, right? So So how much you are going to multiply in order to get x cube by 3 factorial? If you can remember, again I will repeat. So now the term value is x. So the term into, so how much you need to multiply to extract the second term or to get the second term? That is nothing but x cube. So the term value x is already there and we need only minus x star x, that is nothing but x square, and divided by, you need 3, that is whole divided by 3 star 2 star 1, right? So in order to get the second term, we have that for the term as x already, so you are taking that previous term, and in order to that get the term, you need to just multiply x square divided by 3 factorial is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1. So this will give you minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. Similarly, now this is my second term, right? Term is, the first term was x, and in order to obtain the second term, you are taking the previous term and multiplying with this one. Now when I want to consider the third term, so let me see, is there any change in the equation? If I want to do, again I will apply the same equation, the term star minus x star x divided by, okay. So now consider this as a factorial, okay. So this is factorial of 3. I will take it as the factorial of 3 instead of 3 into 2 into 1. Now do you remember, do you know what is the previous term? The previous term was the whole minus x cube divided by 3 factorial. So in order to get the next term, so we are taking the same minus x into x. So what happens, this minus, which is nothing but fact of 3, so it means that is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1 star 5 into 4. So you might be wondering how that directly we have taken 5 into 4 into 3. We will see step by step. So what did you get? You are getting, so the previous term is minus x cube, so minus x cube star minus x square divided by 5 factorial. So what is that? Minus x cube into minus x square would be x to the power of 5. Did you understand here? X to the power of 5 divided by 5 factorial. Similarly, if I want to have the next term, that is x to the power of 7 divided by 7 factorial, I am applying the same formula. So now the current previous term would be x to the power of 5 divided by 5 factorial. So this would be multiplied with minus x square. So what happens? It will become minus x to the power of 7 by 7 factorial. It means, so when you are calculating the term, so every term will be multiplied with minus x to the square, x square divided by some factorial of a number. So this part of the factorial we will see how it will be calculated when we do the programs. So now this step, whatever I am repeating here, one for each and every term should be inside the loop. And after calculating the every term, you are adding the sum is equal to sum plus term, because if you see this equation, series of equation, you are doing addition and subtraction. It is nothing but every term you are adding. It depends on whether you are getting minus here. See here, the first term was positive, the second term was negative, and third term became negative. So you are adding these each and every term to the previous sum value. So this is our basics of the program. So after calculating this total sum till n number of terms, so that n input we will be taking. Say for example, I want to calculate it for 4 terms. So 4 terms means n is equal to 4. So how many terms will happen? First term, second term, third term and fourth term. So till this part, that is till 7th factorial, you will be performing this operation. So please do not consider that n is equal to 4 means it will be in a different way. So this calculation of term will be done from the second term, means the loop will exactly start from this second term. That is nothing but when it is in the odd 3 factorial. Okay. So now let's move on to the program. We know that we need to use hash include stdio.h is a predefined library function which is used as so we stdio.h, and to use our printf and scanf functions we are including this header file. We will see if we need any other header files in the later stage. And you have int main function. Since you are giving int main, so the return value should be some integer. So if you are giving void main, then there is no need of writing the return statement. Now let's see what all the variables we need. If you can see this logic or tracing of the programs, you know that you need x, you need degree, you need n, and you need sum, you need term. So better we need to find out which variables are in integer data type and which variable we can consider is a floating data type. And if you consider int, n can be integer, and if you want you can take degree as a integer or it can be a floating. So I will consider degree as an integer, and you also use a variable called I for using inside the for loop. Now I will consider the floating data type as x, and we have some value. Don't initialize the sum value as 0 because we will initializing the sum value with the term. Still by default you can initialize it with the 0, it doesn't matter. Then we had used radian, so radians was x, nothing but. So any other we are using term, yeah, term. If we need any other variables we will see at the later stage. So what is the first input that we are going to take? We are going to take enter the degree. So when you take enter the degree as a printf statement which displays the same statement on the screen, and scanf percentage d, because degree was considered as integer, I will take it as percentage d ampersand degree. Okay, so here after taking the input, so again the next printf statement, next input that we are going to take is n number of terms. So what is that n terms that we are using? We will be using it as n. Okay, so now after taking these two inputs, what is the next stage of action? As we discussed, here we have taken the input of degree and n. Now we need to convert the degree into radians. So that is nothing but x is equal to degree into pi by 180. So I will consider pi as 3.14 star 180. Okay, after converting this, so we will initialize the first term as x, and the next sum value will be initialized with x because we will be calculating from this second term. So I have already, because you have to add this x value with all these terms, so I will initialize the sum value as x. Now inside the for loop I would like to start with 3. Why 3? Because you can start it from 1, you can start it from 2, but in order to evaluate this equation in a better way, I will consider the I value as 3, because directly I can take factorial of I here. Okay, so for that sake, when I value is 3, I is less than or equal to n number of terms, and I, we will see whether we are incrementing I value with the +1 or +2 later. Okay, so when I have this, so what is the equation that we discussed here? We have this equation, that is term is equal to, so we have only 2 lines of statements that we are going to make to evaluate this equation. Term is equal to the previous term. What was the previous term? Is x currently into minus x star x. So what happens? Minus x star x. So this would be minus x square. So you can write it as power of x comma 2. Also this power function is available in math.library. So you need not go so much complicated here. So what is that? The term value is evaluated with the previous term into minus x square, okay, and divided by. So what is that division happens? So the division happens with some value. Okay, so what would be my denominator? It should be 3 factorial. So if you can see here, the factorial, I can take 3 factorial as I. Okay, so I will say 3 factorial is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1. So directly I cannot take 3 into 2 into 1. Rather I need to use these variables in order to repeat the same set of statements. So what I will do is I will replace this value with I star I minus 1. So what is the value of I currently? So the value of I is equal to 3. Can you see here the value of I? Why I have taken 3? In order to make my program easier. So what would be I minus 1? So the I minus 1 would be 2. So 3 into 2. Now I will run the code. Before again the sum, now I have calculated the current term, so then I will have to add sum is equal to sum plus term. Now after adding this, next I will have to increment the I value. So if you see the equation, the next term that I am supposed to obtain is x to the power of 5 by 5 factorial. So if I see the equation, what is this? Term into minus x square is minus x cube. So if I use so minus x cube into, for the next term, plus x to the power of 5 divided by, what is the I value that I am supposed to get here? So now the currently I will use the comment. Okay, currently the term value would be minus x to cube divided by 3 into 2 into 1. Now I will add the sum value with sum plus term, x minus x cube you have got. Now in order to go repeat this set of statement till n terms, again I have to calculate these two set of statements. So what is the current value of term already? Minus x cube by 3 factorial. So minus x cube into minus x into x would become, here it would get changed to x to the power of 5. Did you observe here? Term is already minus x cube. Minus x cube into minus x square would become plus x to the power of 5. And now if I consider I value is equal to I plus plus, what is the value of I? It was 3 and it will become 4. So it will become 4 into 3. So we need 5 factorial. So instead of incrementing I value with I plus plus, I will increment I value is equal to I plus 2. So why we are doing this is in order to obtain the factorial. See here, if you can see here, x square is missing, x cube, x to the power of 4 is missing. It means it is getting jumped to 2 levels. So that is the reason the looping construct also should be incremented to the second level. Okay, instead of taking I is equal to I plus plus, if you take this you will not get the correct results. Now what is the value of I? 3 it was, now it will get incremented to 5, x to the power of 5 into 5 star into 4 into, already we had 3 factorial from the previous term. So I would like to have 3 into 2 into 1. So if I want to show it you here, so initially the I value was 3. Okay, so when I value was 3, so what is the equation we used? I star I minus 1. Okay, so I will take it as I star I minus 1. So what would be here? What is the value of I? I value was 3. So 3 into 2, you will get 3 factorial. Now when I increment the value of I with plus 2, so I value will become 5. So what is the term value? I value is 5, and the term value would be term is equal to, here I will take the same set of statement because it was here. So the term value would be changed to term into minus x to the power of x divided by, so instead of factorial I will delete this so that no confusion. So here I star I minus 1. So what is the value of I here? I value is 5. Here it becomes 4. What is the term value previously? You had got minus x cube into 3 factorial. So minus x cube divided by 3 factorial, that is 3 into 2 into 1, multiplied by minus x square divided by 5 into 4. I hope you are able to understand this concept. Now when I value is equal to 7, so what would be the next term? So the next term would be, we already have the previous term as x to the power of 5, x to the power of 5 divided by 5 factorial, and this would be multiplied with minus x square. So I will directly take x square whole divided by, or divided by, what is I value? I value is 7 into I minus 1 would be 6. So already we have 5 factorial, that is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So now I am just adding or multiplying I into I minus 1. I value was 7 and the I minus value would become 6, and consolidately it will become minus x to the power of 7 divided by 7 factorial. So after getting each and every term in the loop, you are supposed to add this term. Okay, I hope it is clear. You can repeat this in order to understand much better. So these are the very 2 lines of code, and very important thing is usage of brackets, because you are whole dividing it by the complete numerator part. If you do not use brackets, so then BODMAS rule will be applied automatically and it will evaluate, which will not give you the accurate results. So after this, you are going to print the output, print the sum of series, or the value of the degrees. The sum of series is percentage F, which would be, what is the output? The value of the output is sum. Okay, so here now what is the statement? Another statement they say is, you need to compare the result with built-in function. You need not write if condition to compare. Just you are printing the output, and directly I am using print. Okay, I have used double quotes here. Print the sign series for the given input using built-in function would be percentage F. So what is that percentage F? The percentage F would be directly sine of x. Okay, so the x value is nothing but the value that is getting converted from degree into radians. Here you cannot take sine of degree, rather you are supposed to take sine of x. Okay, so when you run this program, it will throw you an error because sine of x is a predefined function. Okay, sine of x is a predefined function which is available in math.h library. So it is mandatory for you to use hash include, what is that predefined library? Math.h. Okay, so we will run the program and check for any compiler errors or runtime errors. It is saying you have an invalid syntax of int main. So when you compile the program, it is there is an error with the spelling. So hash include, and is there any other errors? The sum of series is so you can read the error here. The print function, so we are supposed to use print f. Okay, and let's run the program. Okay, so it will ask you to enter the degree. I will enter it as 60 degree. So the sine 60 degree for 5 terms. If you can see 5 terms, so the 5 terms would be first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and till x to the power of 9. So when you run this program with 5 terms, we will see whether our result is accurate or not. So here the sine series for the given input, that is 60 degree, you are getting 0.86, and we will run for, is it accurate? Even though it is accurate, we will go for different types of inputs and we will see whether it is correct. Sine 45 degree, and I am using 10 terms, and here you are getting the value. Okay, so when we run this program, so for sine 90 degree we will check and we will see how many terms we can take. Any number of terms. Here I will be taking 8 terms. So the sine 90 degree is 1, the sum of the series, and the function that we have obtained is 1. And remember here a very important note: when you are doing some mathematical calculation, parenthesis makes a large or major difference with the accuracy of the results. So we have degree into pi by 180. So this pi by 180 should be having the higher precedence than multiplying it with. And here one more thing is, you are multiplying you are dividing the numerator with the denominator. The numerator should be in a separate parenthesis and denominator should be in a separate parenthesis. And now the another thing that we are supposed to notice, we are doing it twice the n times, because when I just use only n, so what happens, I have taken 5 terms, then 5 terms means first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. It means till x to the power of 9 I am supposed to do. So when I consider only n, so since we are starting it from third, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, it will stop. It will not go to the next term. So it is mandatory that, since we are incrementing the value I with the plus 2, so automatically first time the loop will be 3, the second time I loop will change to 5, and the next time the I will change to 7. So it is jumping at the 2 levels. So for that sake we need to use 2 star n. Even if you don't 2 star n, you will get the result, but the accuracy of the result would vary from the number of terms of calculations you are going to do. So with this you are going to get the result based on our Taylor series equation and the predefined function that we have used. Okay, thank you.